I noticed like we've changed the system to the point where we keep them fully engaged. So during my training, I don't just put them in front of a PowerPoint presentation. I have quizzes. Of course, we have a couple reference pictures, but most of the time we're just engaging because you have kinesthetic learners, you have visual learners, you have audio learners, and I learned this just because of when I used to be a team leader in my retail job at Best Buy. I just knew that I have to train a certain person to use a cash register a certain way. I can't just like tell them, I have to show them, or I can't just show them, I have to tell them, and I adapt, and those are my KPIs. So I get a KPI report off of engagement, off of what people said in their end of day reports to me, like, Andrea, I really love this. So I'm always adjusting and updating my trainings because this is my business. I literally niche down in this virtual assistant business. So my business, just as much as yours in real estate, Chris, has KPIs. So
right, I would agree with that. Wow. For people watching in the chat, go ahead, put your comments in, put your questions in. We'll try to get them before we get wrapped up with the thing here. Post them in there and we'll get it going. Also, Andrea, I wanted to ask you, I know you said something about meetings. How often should one have meetings and or training with their virtual assistants?
Well, I talk to my VAs all the time because they're like my only friends. But I mean, listen, like if you're an investor, you don't have to really be there on a phone call for an hour every day. I would say this. Always meet with your virtual assistant. And if you've read Traction and you know what a level 10 meeting is, or if you haven't read Traction, but you've had a meeting at some point in your life with your boss at work, with other investors, like you sit down and you really look at everything, and this is a part of the KPIs. You can look at your KPIs, you look at everything that's been great for the week. Your team meetings can be as simple as, what were your highlights of the day? And what were your opportunities for success? Because I never say what did you do bad? You always have an opportunity to get better, right? So, you can meet with your VA once a week, a minimum of once a week. For an hour, I like to say a minimum of once a week. And now I'm telling you this, for the once a weekers, I'm not saying you just see them on a Monday and then you have an hour meeting and you be like, peace, I'm not talking to you for the rest of the week. I'm just saying sitting down to break down everything throughout the week, listen to cold calls, talk about how they felt. Did you have any funny sellers? Did anyone say anything hilarious to you? Did anyone say anything rude to you? Did you have any calls that went really well? How did you build rapport this week? Those in-depth conversations, you should always check in with your virtual assistant 2 to 3 times a day. In the morning, they need to tell you, of course, this is kind of that employee kind of stepping into it. They need to tell you when they're clocking in. You want to make sure they're reliable, and there's multiple resources, whether if you want to monitor them or not. But having that, hey, good morning, boss, hey, those affirmations, you're going to crush it today on the phones. You want to talk to your virtual assistant every day. I'm not saying have a whole entire KPI breakdown and talk about the county website, and you don't have to do multiple trainings, in the morning. It can be as simple as a 15-minute phone call, or even a text. And then having that nightly report, your virtual assistant will send you an end of day report, or they should be. And then, just things like that. You should be always in communication, but at least have that intimate conversation with them once a week, because it's just going to really just glue everything together and keep that relationship solid.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Relationships is the key to success.